share this with you. You know, just some things that I've been thinking about for a while, and you know, putting into play. You know, see, YouTube or the internet, written books, none of that stuff can really teach you exactly how to be a man. You know, what teaches you how to be a man is having your feet on land and, you know, being in uncomfortable situations and being around people that make you uncomfortable. You know, we hear what's going on, brother. How you living? You know, that's what makes you a man, is, you know, expanding your horizon, you know, taking on things that's bigger than you. You know, going against challenges that initially create fear. You know, remember, fear is just you know, it's an emotion disguising another emotion. You know, so that's a major part of it. You know, and just understanding the differences. You know, you gotta have discernment. You can't just assume, you know, what things are, you know. Just how a lot of people get duped, you know. You got guys on there that complain about women and stuff like that, but they, you know, because they get duped by women, basically. But you're getting duped by certain people on here, you know, that proclaim to be something that they're actually not. They're not living. Remember what I said before, everything is basically in the weight of what someone's saying, in the weight of their conversation, and the particulars. You know, can they actually go in depth with what they're talking about? You know, yeah, they can give you the highlights, but can they give you the times in the gym? You know, the process and the preparation, the pain, the losses. You know, there's a lot more to this than what meets the eye. You know, keep that in mind. But anyways, you know, these are just my thoughts, you know. And a part of my thoughts with this is how you can tell the difference. You know, you don't ever want to confuse authority for arrogance. Okay? As well as confuse authority for power, or confuse power for arrogance. Walk with me. Because a person, you know, who's in power and in authority, right, or in a powerful position, you know, I would liken him to, you know, like we could say like a school teacher, for example. We use that analogy. You know, a school teacher, what do? They firmly take control of the classroom. Or they're like a police officer, you know, making an arrest or pulling you over. They're exercising their power and showing you their authority. Or like a judge checking someone for getting disrespectful in the courtroom. Now, these are other examples. Keep that in mind. See, people only get upset based out of pride. You know, pride and ego, broken emotions. Now, when you look at pride and arrogance, right? Let's go back to this. Arrogance is just pride expressed. And pride is just assumption of something that isn't concrete, that hasn't been tested by the concrete. See, when you know who you are, you move in that certain, you know, power. And no one tricks you out of your position of authority. And you don't have to tone it down, downplay it, or upplay it to anyone's liking. You're not moved by that. You're not moved by anyone. You're moved by what you're governed by. And what you should be governed by is principle. And that's the way of an original man, with his own ideas, with his own expression. Now, if you look back in the ancient times, because people like to use Bible verses, right? Remember when they were astonished at the doctrine that Jesus taught, as one who had that authority, and not as the scribes or the Pharisees, because they were going off of what? Scripted information. What do you see now? You see Google players. You see Google alphas and Google whoever. All you see is this Google information, this Google Play information. Nothing is actually spit from what is internal. You know? Knowledge of self, exactly. Knowledge of self, because guess what? Everything around you is subject to change, but knowledge of self is something that will always remain. Keep that in mind. And as I said before, any man that, comes on here and complains about females' nature, is someone that shows that they are self-defeated. They have no power. They have no authority. They have no competence. Now, there is spiritual competence, logical competence, psychological competence, emotional competence, and financial competence. Now, your pockets aren't right. Not saying you have to be the richest stiff, right? Okay? But if your pockets aren't right, that's going to trigger other areas, And unfortunately, people see things from a shallow perspective, okay? You can't get on them for certain things, Looks matter to you just like, your money matters to them. Not for you giving it to them, because if you have it, you're not giving it to them, That's just a sign. That's just your scorecard for letting them know that, you're on point in your discipline and you're competent in that area as well as in other areas. You should be, But, if you're not in that moment, don't despise the small beginnings, because you get those developments and those aspects. You develop emotionally, you develop psychologically, you develop logically, you develop in other areas altogether, as well as you're developing your financial literacy and financial competence, right? You develop all that, all comes together, and guess what? You become a whole man, a solid man, okay? Just because you have it doesn't mean that they're going to get it. Everything is earned. You become a man that, everything around you has to earn you. Everything has to earn you. Nothing is freely given. Everything comes with a cost. Everything comes with a price tag. To get into your circle, you have to do a lot. You build yourself like that. Too many people just dick